Hello YouTube, this is the Gamer Ninja here, and this is the start of a new weekly series that I'm doing, basically called Pokemon of the Week. I have a random number generator, and I'm going to be using that to determine a Pokemon that I'm going to talk about from a competitive point of view. And of course, with my luck, I managed to get, out of the 600 plus choices, the one Pokemon that I probably hate more than almost anything else. There are a few things that I hate more, but this one is definitely in the top 5. Conkeldurr. I hate this thing for many reasons. I hate its design. I hate its Pokedex entries. I hate how it is just... Look at it. I'm sorry. Just look at this thing. It's got two huge stone slabs that are clearly trying to overcompensate for something. Stubby little feet. And a clown nose? Game Freak? Why? But beyond design, beyond whatever else, I hate this thing the absolute most because it is a threat. I would be okay with this thing if it just looked stupid and didn't have anything going for it. But no, Arceus, when it made this thing, felt so terrible that it made something that looked this horrible that he gave it really good stats, and this thing is a huge threat to almost any team that's ever made. Conkelderp base stats are 105 HP, 140 attack, again, 140 base attack, 95 defense, 55 special attack, 65 special defense, and 45 speed. Oh, and did I mention 140 base attack? So, with this in mind, Conkelderp hits stuff really hard, and it has an HP stat that lets it take hits pretty well. And its defense stat isn't too terrible, actually. I mean, base 100s are basically what we look for most of the time, and with a high enough base HP stat, you won't care about your lackluster special defense stat, or even your defense stat will shine because you have so much HP. Just look at how well Chansey does with all its HP. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about this thing, and I have 6 sets that I'm going to point out. One of which is kind of odd, but I've been sort of seeing it more and more, so I figured I might as well mention it. But let's just start with the most simple one. This is Conkeldurr, and this is the easiest way you can play him. Punch stuff and punch it as hard as you can with a Life Orb and Iron Fist. For those of you who don't know what Iron Fist does, anything that's a punch, other than Sucker Punch, does even more damage. Oh, and this thing gets all the elemental punches. Oh, high type coverage. Yeah, you could basically have a move that will hit nearly everything, super effective, and it will hurt a lot. You may not have Mach Punch, which is probably should take in place of one of the coverage moves, but this set here that I'm showing is just to show you that this thing does have type coverage, if you really need it. Now, small disclaimer here. All these sets that I'm showing are very easy to EV, but the movesets you can swap out depending on what you want, depending on what your team needs. And that's something that you should really consider when you're team building. I might do an entire video on team building later. But this here is the epitome of Conkelderp just comes in, hits something really hard, takes a hit, and then probably kills another thing, or heals up nearly to full with Drain Punch. Oh, because when you hit something really hard with Drain Punch, you heal more. And with a base 140 attack, you're going to be hitting pretty hard. Now, in terms of EVs and nature, let's take advantage of that base 140 attack and max that out with an Adamant nature on top of it. That means you have 416 attack, and let's just max out that HP stat to give you 414 base HP. And then we'll put 4 points in special defense. You're never going to really be able to sweep anyway with your speed stat being a base 45, and you don't have a special move pool worth a damn. So, yeah, this is the easiest Conkelderp set, and it's probably the easiest to counter if you have anything worth a damn. I mean, this thing's the easiest to revenge kill just because it's not packing Mach Punch, which, by the way, you could put on this thing. But moving on, let's move on to the second set here. This is Assault Vest Conkelderp. For those of you who don't know what Assault Vest does, if you have 4 offensive moves and basically no support moves, your special defense goes up by 50%. So that horrible special defense stat suddenly becomes pretty damn high. We also give it Guts because Guts means you could come in and on a Will-O-Wisp from a Rotom or whatever, it can't really hurt you because it's a special attacker and you have an Assault Vest. And if it Will-O-Wisps you, well, okay, it doesn't matter. You're on a clock, but you're just going to Drain Punch it anyway and probably close to one-shot it. And heal up all the damage it just tried to do to you. This is probably the set that most people will be using. It's probably the most consistent set, and it hurts. We're packing Drain Punch and Mach Punch for healing and priority, respectively. And then we are also packing a knockoff, just to mess with more people and for type coverage. And Ice Punch for more type coverage, and because it's Ice Punch. It's a physical ice move. What more do you want? For EVs, on this one, I decided to max out attack, again, to take advantage at base 140 attack. And I put 4 points of defense because I really don't know where else to put it. And 252 special defense so I can take special defense hits, or special attack hits, I'm sorry. And I made it into an adamant nature. You could move the 252 in special defense to HP to take a few more physical hits a bit better. But in all honesty, it doesn't really matter. This thing's going to be taking hits and dealing a lot of damage no matter what you do. And that's basically all there is to say about this Conkeldurr. It comes in, sponges special hits like a boss, and then proceeds to wreck face like a boss. And I hate it, because again, I hate this Pokemon. And it's a threat. And it makes me mad. Anyway, let's move on to a bulk up set. Now, it already looks like it's a steroid abuser, so let's just give it a set that's all about having a steroid. This Conkeldurr uses leftovers because you're going to be tanking more and more healing is good. Its ability is Guts for, again, taking in statuses and then hitting harder for anyone that's poor enough to scald you and get the burn. And then our moveset is Bulk Up for obvious reasons. Mach Punch for priority, Drain Punch for healing and damage, and Ice Punch. You're probably noticing a trend in the movesets. Yeah, this is all pretty damn easy. But again, you could replace Ice Punch for Knockoff, or Thunder Punch, or Fire Punch, or whatever you want, basically. And it will probably do pretty well. Just don't make it 3 fighting type attacks, please. That would make this Conkeldurr very sad. Actually, on second thought, because I hate this thing, please do that and make this thing cry. Anyway, again, we're doing the same EV spread as before. 252 in the HP, 252 attack with an adamant nature, and 4 in special defense. Gee, this guy is pretty standard, pretty much the same in all EV spreads. It's almost like you really want to take advantage of that base 140 attack. Now, you don't really see this set too much because Assault Vest basically tanks things harder, and honestly, you might as well just use the coverage because you don't need to hit any harder, really. If something takes a 140 base attack hit, it's not going to want to take another one unless it resists it. So, again, this is a very fun set, though. If you manage to get a couple of bulk ups under you, you're physically tanky as hell, and plus 2 Mach Punches from a base 140 attack hurt like a bitch. Now for the third set, well, this one's, I personally don't like it, but I've been seeing it. It's Protect and 3 attacks, and as the name says, it runs Protect and 3 attacks. This one uses leftovers for more healing with Protect, Guts for reasons stated before. Protect, Mach Punch, Drain Punch, and Earthquake. Earthquake for more coverage, although you could run Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, Knockoff, whatever. Drain Punch for healing, Mach Punch for priority, and Protect because we're running Protect for whatever goddamn reason. This set allows you to scout a bit more. It's a bit more of a, I don't want to say lead-based set, but it kinda is. If they're just setting up hyper offense, you can just punch them in the face after they protect or whatever, or after they try to set up or whatever, and then you could protect on whatever. And it's strange, and it shouldn't work, but I've seen it work. So give it a shot. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Again, we're taking advantage of our base 140 attack and our stupidly high base HP, and we're just going to be hitting things and taking hits and whatever. Now, I'm really upset about this set. I really didn't want to show this set because this set is just a bitch. This is basically Conkeldurr on Conkelderp. For those of you who don't know what Conkeldurr is, it was very popular in about, 3rd gen with Suicune, when it was a really, really solid wall. And that set was Calm Mind, Rest, Sleep Talk, and Water Move of your choice. Probably Surf. And I'm sure you can basically tell what its job is. Heal up forever, punch stuff, hit stuff as hard as you can, while boosting. And Conkelderp does that job really well. We have Leftovers, Guts, which by the way, triggers off of your sleep when you're sleeping, giving you a 50% boost to your base 140 attack. And for moves, we use Rest, Sleep Talk, Bulk Up, and Drain Punch. Drain Punch is there for the healing, and just for damage. Now, for this set, obviously you want to kill off ghost types really, really quickly. Although, I have been seeing knockoff versions of this every now and then, which can work. But, again, this is all dependent on your team. You could run any offensive move you want. But Drain Punch is probably the most synergy overall, just because you can heal up while you're sleeping and you don't have to wait 2 turns to heal up again. Now, this set here is probably the one set you will not be taking advantage or maxing out your base 140 attack. You're still going to give it an adamant nature, and you're still going to have 348 attack, and you're still maxing out your HP, and you're maxing out your special defense so that they can't hit you as hard. So, let's do a little bit of math here. With Guts boosted, that 348 attack with one effective point of attack investment and an adamant nature is breaking 492. It's about, more than that. It's breaking 500. And you're bulking up even more, and your defense is going up, and you have a respectable special defense now. Yeah, if you don't have a ghost type, this thing's going to hurt like a motherfucker, and it's going to just keep resting up because it's not going to care. Eventually, it'll just get so large it doesn't care, and it'll just rest up and then sleep talk and punch things in the face. You really do have to be careful though. It's not an easy set to really use because of the abundance of taunt users and ghost types right now. But still, if you manage to get this thing set up, it's gonna wreck an entire team. Easy. Alright. And finally, we have Substitute Sub Punch Conkeldurr. This set's sort of fallen out of favor because of the bonuses to basically sound-based moves and Infiltrator, but it's still a really good set. Because punching stuff behind a substitute when your subs are going to have over 100 HP is just too tempting not to try to abuse. Again, we're running Leftovers, we have Guts, and we're running Knockoff to mess up Chanseys, basically, and it's a really good move now. Substitute because Sub Punch, Focus Punch because punching, and Ice Punch because more punching, and Dragon types are annoying. Again, simple EV spread. You're probably sick and tired of seeing this, but I just want you to make sure you know this thing has base 140 attack. So if you take anything from this video, Conkeldurr's a threat. I hate it, and that's really all I have to say about it. Base 140 attack. Thank you for watching, YouTube. Leave a comment in the description below, or in the comments below, I'm sorry. It's a really late night. And let me know what you think. The next video will probably be in a couple of days. I'm going to try to make this into a weekly series. So, Let me know what you think about Conkelder. And, tell me your stories involving him. Be it you getting wrecked by him or wrecking with him. Hope you're having a great day, YouTube.